All right, this team is the single worst team in the league.
DC United.
Wrong.
Really? They
It's
weren't the worst
Atlanta.
team?
It's
Oh,
Atlanta. Haha, got you.
you just
Um,
lied. That's all you did. You lied.
Emerson Hyndman, Raul Gudiño, Rocco Rios Novo, Juan Jose Porrata, Amar Sadic, Alex DeJean, Jackson Conway, Mikey Ambrose, Aiden McFadden, Ozzy Alonso, Justin Garces, and Bryce Washington. Excuse me. Um, for me, I don't think Hyndman comes back. I think his history of injuries is going to hurt him in this respect. He just can't stay on the field. And with Atlanta sinking all of their money into overrated attackers, they can't afford to have anybody who can't play. Sorry. Godinho and Rios Novo both did not do nearly well enough to earn themselves a contract, so they're both gone. Juan Jose Porata needs to come back. I don't know what they need to do to bring him in, but he was their third leading goal scorer as a center back. He had a hat trick from free kicks. You need to bring this guy back at any given cost. um, there is a purchase option. I don't care how many zeros there are, you pay it. Amar Sadic, I don't bring him back. I think that when they get enough players back, they will, he'll be bumped to a point where they might not need him, as well as I think they're going to bring in better um, reinforcements. I would assume that is where a lot of their money is going to go. Moreno's more on the attacking side. Santi Sosa the defensive side. Rossetto has not nearly lived up to the hype of what he should be, but he might get there. Franco Ibarra is still there. Um, I just think that he doesn't fit that mold anymore, and I think you know, I think he's gone personally. Alex DeJean, same thing. When all the center backs come back, I think he's excess baggage. I think he can go. Jackson Conway, I think, stays around. I think he's got a really good future ahead of him. He's doing very well at the Atlanta too. Just got to see him get on the field now. Eventually, once Josef Martinez is sold this summer, because he's going.
Stop. Stop it.
Mikey Ambrose, I think it's time for them to move on from him. Love a good bit of Mikey, but um, yeah, he's not in the picture. I think Aiden McFadden comes back. He did a good job filling in during the injury crisis, and I think I think he's at least earned the backup role personally. Um, I don't think Ozzy Alonso comes back. I think that injury ends it for him, which is unfortunate, and I will never forgive you for being the team that ended Ozzy Alonso's career. Justin Garces, Bryce Washington, both guys at the Atlanta 2 level who have done well. And I think they both come back in that sense. The other thing I was thinking on last episode was we were talking about how we remember Kyrie Shelton being drafted into NYC. We have officially been around long enough to watch players get drafted and then be done. Like that's how long we've been following this now, and that's kind of terrifying.
Who are you talking about? You talking about Kyrie?
I'm just talking about anybody, right? We're getting to that point where it's like, oh, this guy hung up his boots. Oh yeah, I remember when he was drafted. Like, that's terrifying. We're old.
You're old.
Yeah, I'm really old.
Um,
But what do you got? Anything different from me?
well, considering this is my team, I'm gonna go through all the players here.
I would hope
Um,
so.
I agree. Emerson Hyndman does not come back. He's getting paid way too much money to not be able to stay healthy. And me personally, I don't think he's produced enough, even when he has been healthy. Um, and I would much rather see that money go to what I feel like the team has been missing for years now, and that was a proper Darlington Nagby replacement. So
I,
that's what I would like to see the money go to. I
I
don't
hate to
know.
break it. I hate to break it to you, friend. That does not exist.
It does.
You
You can
you can
find
get
someone.
7 midfielders in there. It doesn't exist.
You can find somebody.
No, you cannot. He is more
Um,
talented.
I agree with you. I don't think Coutinho or Rios Novo were good enough to come back. We got to figure out the goalkeeper situation, considering Brad is very old now and now coming off an injury as well. I don't know what they're going to do. I just don't think either of those two guys are the answer. I agree.
Ryan Mera for Thiago Almada straight up. Who says no?
Me, and I make the
Wrong.
executive decisions. Purata, I agree. Definitely needs to come back. I think keeping him in the mix with Miles coming back from injury, which we don't know how he's gonna come back. Um, Alan Franco, kind of. I feel like he's kind of inconsistent sometimes. Um, and then Campbell being pretty young as well. I think he gives us good center back options there. So I would definitely bring him back as long as it's not like some ridiculously absurd price to bring him back. I said Sadic comes back, and I think it's because I think one of the midfielders is gone this summer. I think they sell somebody. Um, I think it's either one of Rossetto or Santi Sosa because
Interesting.
I just don't think they have panned out. Ibarra could get sold as well. I forgot about Ibarra. I think one of them could likely get sold. They seem to really like Sadic, and I don't mind it considering Sadic is on for this season 85,000 for his salary.
That's
It's
not a bad price hit at all.
no, definitely not. So if you got him for around that same price, I would imagine it gets bumped up a bit. But if you got him for around that same price, absolutely, I would take that. Especially if you can flip one of those guys and try to get back as much as you can on that investment. But I don't remember. I don't know if you remember, but Santi Sosa got suspended at the end of the season.
That's right for using some not so great words. Yeah.
Yeah, so I wonder if that's his ticket out.
Take it out. Yeah, that's a really good shot. I totally missed that.
So that's why I think Sadic stays. I think he gives him that midfield depth at a cheaper cost. Dion, I agree. I don't think he stays, especially if you bring back Pirata. Conway, I agree. Got good potential. I think you bring him back. Mikey Ambrose, even in this whole debacle of injuries in the back line, still couldn't really manage to get much game time. So I'm going to say he's gone. I said no to Ada McFadden. I don't think he comes back. I think he was just makeshift wing back because we had absolutely nobody else to throw there. And now that people are getting healthy again, I don't really see where he factors in. So I don't think he comes back. If they do bring him back, I don't think he's going to play much, to be honest.
Yeah, send him over to Atlanta too.
He's a bit old for Atlanta too. I feel like he's going to be, what is he now? 24, 25. He's 24 right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's obviously still pretty young, but I just feel like he's got a better shot at getting in the mix on another team than he does at Atlanta. Um, and I don't think he's a wing back, even though they played him as a wing back. I think he's a midfielder, and the midfield is pretty crowded right now, especially because I have Sadic coming back. Ozzy, I said yes, no. So I think if Ozzy doesn't retire and wants to come back, I think they bring him back at least for the leadership part of it. But I think if he hangs up the boots, obviously he's gone, which I feel like could be a reasonable possibility considering it was a serious injury at his age.
Yeah,
And then Garces and Washington, I said no. I don't think they come back.
interesting. Okay.